Now that the Hawks have been defeated by the Boston Celtics, we have the Eastern Conference semifinals matchup between the Boston Celtics and my Philadelphia 76ers. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this series preview that starts on Monday. The Celtics and the 76ers, the first thing we should mention, played 4 times this season. The Celtics beat them 3 times. The Sixers won 1 time. That one win that the Sixers did get, Joel Embiid had 52 in that game. And also, Jaylen Brown did not play. So that's something important to note. The average margin, I think, of the victories between the Celtics and the 76ers was like 5.5 points or something like that. So it was not very close between these teams, very evenly matched teams. And in some people's eyes, the 2 best teams, especially in my eyes, the 2 best teams left in the entire NBA playoffs now that the Milwaukee Bucks have been eliminated by the Miami Heat in 5 games. So these are the 2 best teams that we have left. They're going to play in the semifinals, and I think the team that makes it out of this series will end up making it to the NBA Finals. So the first thing I want to mention between these 2 teams is that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum absolutely torch the 76ers every single time they play them. Jaylen Brown is coming off averaging 27.2 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists in the last playoff series that he played against Atlanta. He is an absolute superstar. Jason Tatum is a problem. He'll probably make first team All-NBA. He was an MVP candidate for the beginning of this year, something that the Sixers need to handle. They've had a hard time guarding him in the past, throwing players like Tobias on him, who just really can't stay with Jason. And no one in the league can really stay with Jason. We just don't really have the defenders to really match up with him necessarily, especially him and Jaylen Brown. You can't really double both of them because you don't want to leave either the one of them open. So doubling one of them is going to be a problem. Also with players like Derek White and Marcus Smart, Al Horford, who routinely torches Joel Embiid, has like a 72% win percentage against Joel Embiid, which is wild. These players knock down threes, and they're hard to guard. The Celtics are a really hard team to guard. Now, we did see them kind of have relapses in their defense, especially in their last series against Atlanta, kind of let them get 2 games off of them while the Sixers did sweep Brooklyn. Their defense has been a little bit questionable, especially coming off last year where their defense was really, really good. And now it's just, middle of the pack in my eyes. Got a coaching change in Joe Mazzulla going from Ime Udoka. So they're not really the same team, but against the Sixers, they just seem to absolutely light it up. The Celtics do have home court in this series. They will play game 1, 2, 5, and 7 in the TD Garden, and Philly will play 3, 4, and 6 back home at Wells Fargo. The Sixers have been a really, really good home team. I believe that the Sixers, this is my total unbiased opinion as a Sixers fan, I believe the Sixers have the best fans in the entire NBA, the most loud fans. But we know Boston has crazy fans too, and they will absolutely get rowdy for their team. And even though we've seen this playoff series already, Atlanta take a game off them in TD Garden, I still believe it's a complete advantage to have home court in this series, and that's something that the Celtics have over us. Going into the playoffs, assuming that we were going to play the Boston Celtics in the second round, seeing how the seeding was lining up, I thought that the Sixers needed home court in order to win this series, and that's something that I still kind of believe. When you just look at this Celtics roster, Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, of course, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard even, Marcus Smart, Derek White, Grant Williams, Robert Williams III, they just have so many pieces and so much depth that I think the Sixers just don't have inherently. They don't really have the pieces to really match up with Boston, in my opinion, but I do believe this is their best chance. Looking at the Sixers roster, of course, Joel Embiid and James Harden are going to be the most important pieces. Of course, Joel's health is something that we're going to keep our eye on, whether he's going to go game 1 or not play game 1. A healthy Joel Embiid is absolutely necessary in order for the Sixers to even have a chance against this Boston Celtics team. We saw in the regular season the only win that they got was when Joel Embiid took over and scored 52. So we need Joel Embiid in order to beat this Celtics team. Joel Embiid and James Harden. James Harden is going to have a really good series, again, for us to win. We don't need him to be Houston Harden, like I said, but we do need like 18 and 10 from James Harden on good efficiency. Tyrese Maxey is someone else who's going to have to be really, really good, along with, players like Tobias Harris. Paul Reed has been really good off the bench in Joel Embiid's backup minutes. Georges Niang, D'Anthony Melton, Jalen McDaniels. They're just going to have to be good. PJ Tucker, he's going to have to do what he does. In order for the Sixers to even have a chance in this series, the Sixers have a really, really good team. Boston does not look like the team from last year, and I do think the Sixers really, really do have a chance because, in my eyes, if they can get past Boston, they can go to the NBA Finals, if not win the NBA Finals, depending on who's on the other side facing them. So, in my eyes, this is the best opportunity Joel Embiid and the Sixers team has had at a championship in a very, very long time. Obviously, the looming question around the Sixers team is, can they make it out the second round? Can they make it out the second round? We haven't made it out of the second round since 2001 when we went to the championship. And this team needs to get out of the second round in order for them to withstand major, major changes that may happen to them. Doc Rivers could be gone in the offseason if the Sixers don't make it past the second round. James Harden has been rumored to, lead the 76ers, maybe go back to Houston if the Sixers don't make it out of the second round, if not the NBA Finals, and give them a chance to win. These are questions that the Sixers team wants to avoid. They want to keep this core together, especially if they can get to the finals. These are Joel Embiid's best years. These are his prime years. It's the best opportunity for the Sixers to get there right now. I believe they just have to get past this Boston Celtics team. And I guess this is the point where I make my prediction. It's a really, really, really hard prediction. Really difficult for me. I'm trying not to be a biased Sixers fan and say Sixers in 7, but I think I'm just going to go with it. I think I'm just going to go with Sixers in 7, and I'm going to stick with that pick. I just really want the Sixers to win, man. Like, my fandom can't let go of this. I really hope it happens. I would not be surprised if the Celtics won this series, even in a fashion of like 5 or 6 games. It would just be highly, highly unfortunate, especially for a potential MVP and Joel Embiid. It would just be really sad, man. But I could definitely see it happening. That Celtics team is really, really good. This is probably going to be one of the better series of the playoffs, and I'm really, really excited for it to happen. These are, and like I said, in my eyes, the 2 best teams left with the Bucks gone. So I'm really, really excited to see how this goes. Like I said, starting May 1st on Monday, we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. Can't lie, I'm nervous, but we'll see how it goes. Talk to you guys later. Peace.